comparison is huge.
Yeah.
You know, I work in skincare and makeup, and if you're ever going to find a platform where you get pulled into the comparison game, I am living in it. But I can tell you that you don't lose your light by lighting someone else up. Do you know what I mean? You don't, your candle is not going to dim because you give props to somebody else. And I would challenge somebody that is feeling like they are being compared to others. My challenge would be that you need to look at that person and find what it is that you think is your shortcoming. And I want you to tell them how amazing they are at that. That sounds completely foreign to society. I get it. If, you know, we have that like somewhat judgmental, catty side of you, but I promise you, if you start focusing on how amazing you see that person and you go out of your comfort zone and you tell them that, that's going to be something that comes back to you in tenfold. So that spot, that deficit that you thought was in you, you're going to realize is actually a positive. It is actually a bonus because other people are going to see it just like you see it in other people. It's so hard for us to see ourselves as others see us because we're so used to looking in that mirror and going, I don't like what my nose looks like, or I don't like my eyes, or my lashes aren't long enough. And that's garbage. Just because somebody else was gifted with maybe a little bit longer lash than you, sister, does not mean that yours aren't amazing. There's something else inside of you that is going to be more special because you're you. And I feel like that's just the magic. If you can share with others and tell them what you see in them that is positive. And this goes back to the crown thing. I can't tell you how humbled I am that was your description of me. But that's what I look for. I look for ways in other people, maybe deficiencies in myself sometimes, that I can tell people that they have this that's just beautiful. And then God blesses me in a different way. I'm never going to have whatever that person has, you know, like you have gorgeous hair and it's like curly and flowy and blonde. I don't have that. And I'm never going to have that. I could go get it dyed 7 times and I would never have that. But I can tell you how radiant it is. And I can make you feel good about it, which then in turn makes me feel good because gratitude begets gratitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. What about living with your life, living your life with your soul on fire? Because I know you said that something happened to you in your younger years, and you're not ready to talk about that now, and that's totally okay. You know, you have to do that whenever you're ready. But so now you are, you know, we're here 15 years later. How did you really step into that, and how would you say that you are truly living with your soul on fire now?
I think that the deciding factor in that really, like, I joined my company 2.5 years ago now, and before that I was a very broken person. I was still lost, you know. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I was working before I had my daughter, who's now almost 4, and I needed an income, and I think God used that, and he used me being in another lonely place, and he surrounded me with just incredible God-fearing women. And I never thought that I could join a company where I did stuff online that actually encourage me. Like, I never thought I was going to find women that would pray for me. I never thought I would find just the encouragement and the self-development and the just everything. And I was so surprised by it because God did work on me. I mean, he's been working on me for 2.5 years since I started that company. And I would be crazy to say that he uses the most insanely, I don't even know how to describe it. He uses things that nobody would think of to bring us back to him in a place that we need to be. And it was those women surrounding me and just me knowing that they had my back that allowed me to step into what I know is God's calling for me. He has given me a voice and the ability to share with others and I have to do it. Like, I am compelled. I started these Facebook Lives on a whim, and I can't get up in the morning, and I literally, like, it's like clockwork. I wake up, I don't need an alarm anymore. I do the things that I need to do. I prepare what it is I'm going to say. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say, and I just tell God, please use me today. I don't know who needs to hear whatever it is, but give me the words to say. And I've gone back and listened to some of those, and I'm like, those aren't my words. I didn't say those things. And I know that God is using me. And I think that just being open and saying, here I am, Lord, use me, is one of the most powerful and terrifying statements that you can say, because he's going to use you if you're truly open to it. And it doesn't matter what path you're on. It doesn't matter how lost you are. If that's the prayer of your heart, he's going to use you in whatever way that he needs you. And it's no surprise that the two of us became connected at the time that we did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Yes, I'm dug in deep to this conversation, and I really hope that you guys are too. It's good. So if you had someone today in front of you, Mandy, and if they were really just seeing, I feel like we kind of touched on this, but I want to touch on it one more time, because I feel like you're really compelled to really say something here. If you were standing in front of someone who was just uninspired, they're unmotivated, they're feeling lost, something happened to them and they can't seem to get past that, they're feeling hopeless, what would you say to them today?
Well, if they were standing in front of me, I would violate all rules of COVID and I would give them a hug, because there is nothing more powerful than knowing and feeling personal connection with somebody and knowing that they're there for you. Secondly, I would probably ask that person if I could pray with them, because I feel like if they were standing in front of me and they were broken and they needed me, that the only person that I could reach out to and talk to that would be able to give me the words and the ability to comfort that person is to pray with them. And then I would tell them that I would be there for them. I would be their accountability partner. I would want to be a message for them. I would want them to know that they are not alone, and that I would be willing to stand with them and talk through these things that they're experiencing. And I think that that's something that we miss in the day of social media. And I think you can feel it there too. But I think just that personal connection and knowing that someone's got your back when you're down and out, I think is one of the most powerful things. But I would tell people, you have to dig deep. When you are struggling, you have to get past all the surface crap that you are feeling, that you're seeing, and you have to find one tiny little nugget of good. And it doesn't matter if it's that your eggs weren't burned that morning. It doesn't matter if you had butter for your toast. I mean, it has to be, even if it's something so tiny that seems like it would matter to no one. If that matters to you, maybe it's a smile from a child. Maybe it's the fact that you got to call your grandma. I don't know what it is, but you have to find that one tiny glimmer of hope and light. And there is something, because if you are breathing, you matter. And there's more work to be done for you. And I don't want anybody to miss that. I don't want anybody to think that they're not worth it, or that their life is not worth it. Because if you are still physically breathing, you have magic inside you. And you have to just be okay with it. You know, look for those tiny little things. Yep. Because even in my darkest spots, there is light. There is light even in the darkest of darks. This morning I went out on my deck and we had a storm last night, and I looked up and there was just a sky full of stars. Maybe that's all the light that you can see as a person that just feels like there's nothing left, or they have nothing left to give. But there is something.
Yeah, that's incredible. And oh my gosh, I'm so sad because unfortunately we're out of time today, and I'm really going to have to bring you on. But guys, please go into the show notes and connect with Mandy and connect with myself, and we will just give you so much hope in the season you guys are at. Thank you so much for tuning in today, friends. We love you. We're praying for you, and we are sending you so much love and so many blessings as we continue this week, guys. And I will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in today.
Thank